Last year, we did something kind of radical with our raised garden bed. At the end of the growing season, instead of taking all of our garden compost and refuse and chopping it up and putting it in our compost tumbler or our compost bin, we did something that saved me a lot of time and helped build the soil's biodiversity over the entire winter. All we did was simply chop up all of that old organic material and placed it right into our garden bed. And in today's video, we're going to be checking out to see what the results are. I believe that this is a great way to use all of that organic material, and it helps keep your soil alive throughout the entire winter. Now, what we did after the chopped up material from all of our plants, we chopped up all of our tomato plants, our zucchinis, beans, peas, everything. We chopped it up into pieces, put it down over the soil, and then we also put a layer of mulch on top of that. Today we're going to dig down and show you guys what that looks like, because I promised you all most of that material was going to be totally composted over winter. Just about the only thing we have left are the Brussels sprouts and then broccoli. During last year's video, I did say that I definitely don't think these are gonna compost. Even in the bottom of a compost bin, these do take a while, but I threw them on here anyways, so we're gonna get rid of those, throw them onto our actual compost pile now, and then take a look a little bit deeper to see how everything else has been doing. So we've got our layer of mulch, and then underneath it in the soil, just about all of that material has been composted. We've got a nice rich layer above the soil that is now just broken down material, and that's going to continue breaking down throughout this year if it hasn't been totally broken down either. And this layer that we've created in the garden bed is really nice for keeping out weeds, and then it's supplying the soil and microbes and worms, everything else in that soil, what it needs to thrive and provide our plants with the nutrients that we love to give it. So digging around everywhere in here, I find a couple of pieces here and there. Like these are probably our tomatoes, but all of the leaves, see, we've got worms and bugs everywhere in here, just breaking down that stuff. But we've got some beautiful soil here. We started off with almost just really no good soil in this spot. It was basically just topsoil, and then I've been feeding it with mulch over these last year and a half or so, 2 years, and that has done wonders. So here is another great example. We can see that soil, it's just wonderful. It's soft, it's gonna hold moisture really well, and this garden is already set up to succeed just because just from looking at all the living organisms in here, I can tell that it is going to be great for the garden this year, even better than it was last year. Taking a look in this spot here, we can even see some sprouts from seeds. This is most likely our broccoli seeds that are sprouting, because that's what was growing over here. And we've got a ton of sprouts all up in the soil. Take a closer look. See sprouts just everywhere, and that too is going to help the soil out. So there's all these different levels of composition and growth and rejuvenation happening just within this first inch or 2 inches of the top of our garden bed. So that goes to show that just taking your clippings and cuttings and putting them right back into your garden bed really can be a great benefit to your next upcoming year's harvest. This soil is being rejuvenated. And if you think about it, the way that it happens naturally is these plants, just the material after the plant is dead and has used up all of its energy for the year, it drops down to the soil below. And then those seeds then grow using that composting material as nutrients. The worms too, the worms and the bugs and everything else that is eating up some of that organic matter, that's also feeding more nutrients to your plants throughout the year. There's a reason why there's such popularity with mulching garden beds, and that's that organic composting material that you get for a long period of time. And I'm seeing the same results with the used up stalks of our tomatoes and zucchinis, cucumbers, all of that stuff that's now in the garden and composting over this long period of time. We're seeing some great benefits to it, which I'm so happy about, and I think I'm going to continue doing this each and every year. That, along with the topping of mulch that I do on a regular basis in the garden beds, really helps out. Again, it doesn't only help out with the nutrient levels in your soil, but it also helps out with keeping the weeds away that you don't want growing in your bed. So it makes the maintenance a lot easier as well. So that concludes today's episode. Thank you guys all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you try this out in your own garden. Just start taking some of your clippings, and instead of putting them right into the compost, make your job a little bit easier and drop them right into your raised garden bed or garden bed on regular soil. I've had great results, and I'm sure you guys will too. So thank you guys all so much for watching. Happy gardening.